It's a pleasure. I figured we'd start off talking a little bit about your company and give us an update on what you guys are up to.
Yeah, so Accuris Networks historically has been focused on connecting inter-standard, inter-technology solutions. So connecting CDMA networks to GSM networks and vice versa. That was our traditional focus, but we've seen over the last number of years more of a move towards connecting to unlicensed spectrum such as Wi-Fi.
Now, what about cellular over Wi-Fi? How does your company play in that space?
So cellular over Wi-Fi, we recently launched a service with Gogo in-flight that enables subscribers, business aviation subscribers, to talk and text while flying, and commercial aviation, it's text only, so you're texting from a plane.
Now, what about unlicensed spectrum? How does your company play in that space, and what are some of the advantages?
So we play very strongly with unlicensed spectrum. Again, it's Wi-Fi. It's easily deployed. You can deploy it in areas such as areas that have had a catastrophic event, such as a hurricane or a tornado. You can quickly deploy a Wi-Fi footprint. And what we can do is we can actually attach that subscriber and make it look as if they are connected to the cellular network. So you very quickly have a cellular experience over a Wi-Fi network that can help first responders with communication before cellular has been reestablished.
There's a lot of talk of white space technology. Is that an area where?
Yeah, we can assist there. We can intercommunicate with with that spectrum also.
Now, what about actual deployments? Does your company have any that you can talk about on camera?
Yeah, we have a deployment with Gogo in-flight, and that would be our North American deployment for this cellular over Wi-Fi experience. It's a fantastic service, enables any subscriber who's on a plane to send and receive texts as if they're on the ground, and our technology essentially makes it look as if they're on the ground.
Now, for the subscriber in the plane, exactly how does that work? What do they have to do?
So a subscriber boards the plane. They attach to the Wi-Fi network, and then once they're attached to that Wi-Fi network, we locate that subscriber on the ground. So we essentially tell their home network that we are the visited network node. We act as a VLR, it's a visitor network. So then any texts, messages that have been sent to that subscriber, rather than being stored on their messaging platform on their home network, we retrieve those messages and then send them up to the plane. So we actually can terminate messages in the air, and vice versa.
If I have a smartphone, I assume that works fine. But does it work with a laptop? What device do you need?
So the beauty of this is that it'll work on any device. It'll work on a smartphone. We do try to limit it to the mobile subscriber identity number. All our authentication is back to the home network. So, for example, unless your laptop has an MS ISDN, it'll not authenticate. But the beauty is, if you can imagine traveling to San Diego from Boston, you may want one subscriber that buys a premium package for that flight, which would be premium Wi-Fi, and you should have the ability to iMessage back and forth. But you can't talk to any of the traditional 3G devices. With our solution, you could enable a cheaper service that would allow subscribers, say your kids, to text the whole way from Boston to San Diego to any device without paying the premium for the premium Wi-Fi service. So it's a very limited service that we can offer.
Okay, so you basically break it up into chunks depending on the need.
Correct. We see a certain amount of value there with cruise lines as well, where we can offer a cellular-like experience for subscribers that are on cruise lines that are afraid to turn on and attach to a small cell on board, because they know that the minute that they attach, there's a huge cost associated with that.
But how would they get to how would you get to their device on the cruise?
How we get to the device is we would use the satellite backhaul that the Picocell is using traditionally today. Mm-hmm. We use that satellite backhaul. We SIP register the subscriber on to our solution, And then we locate that subscriber on the home network by updating their home location register. We act as the VLR in that stage.
So, but there's a passenger. So the passenger on the cruise has to pay for the cruise, right? They have to pay through the cruise line.
That depends. It could be an augmented service where we're augmenting the traditional cellular service, and we're backhauling it back to one of the cruise line picocell providers. Or it could be a service that the cruise line has traditionally without any picocell on the boat, and that would enable the subscribers to attach over backhaul, but only for a very limited amount of data. It's only to attach. It's only so we know that they're there, and then based upon the level of service that they have asked for, it could be text only or text to friends or check voicemail. We can offer that service and charge accordingly.
So does that play into international roaming and offload at all?
So for international roaming and offload, we have a few operators today that we offer that service to. The largest operator would be AT&T. We also have China Mobile.
And how does that work?
So essentially, when AT&T would have established the roaming relationships with Wi-Fi providers all over the world, or a number of Wi-Fi providers over the world, and when you touch down in any given country, say for example Dublin, Ireland, we would have a list of SSIDs that are part of that partner network, Wi-Fi network. So you as a subscriber then can essentially roam onto these hotspots seamlessly and using your SIM credentials. So we use your actual phone number to authenticate you onto that Wi-Fi hotspot. So it eliminates any potential fraud there. It's secure to the home network, and if there's any billing entity or billing requirements, we can also support that. So we will bill right back to the home network. What it does for the consumer or subscriber is it reduces the potential for bill shock. So you know that when you're roaming, you turn your 3G data off or your cellular data off while roaming, but it still offers you some potential to roam in any given country.
So does your company sell to consumers at all, or is it primarily through carriers? And
traditionally it was carriers and then service providers, but we're seeing more and more of an interest towards a consumer type model where we could potentially set ourselves up as an MVNE, where we could enable anyone to offer a service that's a cellular over Wi-Fi experience to their customer base. So not direct to consumer yet, but to small, medium businesses.
Because there's some overlap with companies like TruePhone in terms of what they're doing and what you're doing, and it's kind of interesting how you're kind of playing in a similar but somewhat related space.
Yeah, traditionally we were focused on mobile network operators and selling to mobile network operators. We're seeing new opportunities come along with the likes of cruise lines, and again our service can be used anywhere. I mean, if you can imagine cellular over Wi-Fi with the seamless authentication is huge. I mean, you could have a military base in Afghanistan where you can attach your subscribers that will use the same 617 number that I have here, the same format, and they can make and receive calls to a landline to their family using our solution. So it's a pretty cool service that we have. And again, key is seamless and secure connectivity.
That's great. Well, thanks for being here. This was great.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you very much.